and we're not going to pass it anything. With good reason. We don't need to pass it anything, but it is going to return a number. So we'll do int burger amount, int fries amount, and an integer of Sprite amount, just like that. We're also going to do a double of the tax rate and a double of final price, or I guess end price, so that doesn't get confused with the final syntax in Java. So not that the program would, but that not an end user, but a programmer quickly scanning over it would see final, and yeah. So anyway, and then end price here. The reason it has them underlined right now is because they haven't been used yet. We're going to use them in just a minute, so it's kind of annoying how it does that, but it really is helpful for debugging because it says they're not used, and so it suggests that you delete them, but you're going to use them, so you wouldn't want to delete them. So basically what we're going to do is you're going to, we need to import our scanner class, java.util.scanner, and so now we're going to make our scanner object, scanner in equals new scanner system.in, and that's making it so that in is what we can use to bring in information that the user enters. And we're going to, I think, have to redefine that scanner object for each method here if we want to do it this way. So we're just going to put in system.out.println, how many lard burgers would you like? Then we're going to put in something such as, say I'm going to use, I'm going to define right now an integer z. Z equals in.next int. So the next integer entered will now be what z is equal to. Then we're going to return, this is very important, return z. So whatever this program is asking for, what it's going to get back, have spit back at it, is the integer z. So if I say burger amount, or z, burger amount equals, and what did I call it, burger number, is that a capital N? Yes. Burger number like that. Now burger number, once it takes in, why did I put a semicolon there? This number, z, that is returned by this, is going to be what the user inputs in. And so I'll just show you that running real quick. I'm sure it's going to, yeah. Okay, so we need, of course, a semicolon there. And so there we go. So now it works. And so how many lard burgers would you like? 5. And now it doesn't show any output because we never told it to print out what burger amount is. But now burger amount equals 5. And the system and main knows that. And so we're just going to go fries amount equals fries number. And then Sprite amount equals Sprite number. And I name these differently so that it's not confusing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write those methods real quick. So I'm just going to write them again, walk through them again really quick, really brief, kind of overview. So static int fries number, scanner in equals new, making our scanner object here. Then we're going to ask them how many, was it, yeah, bucket of fries. How many buckets of fries would you like? Then we're going to end that properly. Going to use z again. We can reuse variables, so there's no reason not to unless that's confusing for you, in which case obviously don't reuse variables. But if it makes sense to you, and actually for me it makes it easier because I can keep straight, you know, say for example for taking user input, I'm always going to use taking user input and then returning it to main in this program. I'm always going to use z, for example, and then it's just real straightforward and you can remember it. So I'm going to return z. I'm going to make my third one static int sprite number, scanner in equals new scanner, again making our scanner object. Just like that. Then we're going to ask them how many 2-gallon containers of Sprite would you like? And that properly. Again, we're just going to use Z. And of course, I forgot to put semicolons there. And then we're going to return Z. And let's run our program. How many lard burgers would you like? 5. Buckets of fries? 5. 2-gallon Sprites? 99. And now what we have is, it doesn't show this yet, but burger amount equals 5, fries amount equals 5, Sprite amount equals 99 in the program for what it sees right now. So if I go system.out.println, say burger amount plus, well, let's just say I'm going to output burger amount. So let's run that. 555. And notice how it printed out 5. That's because it printed out burger amount. So I'm just going to take that out because the user doesn't want to have what they just entered echoed to them. So again, it keeps complaining that we haven't used these, but we actually have used these right here. So too bad for them. So now we're going to write our method for doing the calculations. So this is our, we have, aside from the main method, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be our 6th method. So static, and this one's going to be a double. Do let's see, calculate number. And actually, normal Java syntax tells you to start it with a lowercase c, so I will. Not syntax, what am I saying? Kind of etiquette, I guess. So we don't need to make a new scanner object here because we're not asking for any user input. We're just doing math and returning it. So right here we're going to have, gasp, I think 7. So let's see. We're going to have an integer A, integer B, integer B, integer C, double D, double E, double F, double G. So burger price, burger amount, fries amount, Coke or Sprite amount, then double D will be equal to the burger price, double E the fries price, double F the Sprite's price, and double G will be the tax rate. I'm just going to put it at tax rate equals 1.07. And actually, just for readability, I like putting a space before and after the equal sign. It is completely unnecessary, but I like doing that. So now we're going to, when we give numbers, when we pass numbers to this method, it is going to go in this order. So if we have, say, well, you'll see in just a minute, if we give it burger amount, fries amount, Sprite amount, then Sprite cost, then burger amount, burger cost, fries cost, Sprite cost, and we forget the tax rate, it'll give us an error because it was expecting 7 and it only got 6. Or if we did the doubles before we did the integers, like if, say, we gave them burger cost first, it would get confused because it can't convert from a double to integer in that case unless you do some other work. So you have to make sure you have the exact right amount of numbers. There's no, well, I'm going to add an extra in case I need it. No, you have to know how many you're going to have. Of course, you can add an extra and then delete it at the end before you compile the program. You just have it there in case you need it. But you don't want to leave it in there because then you'll get an error. So what we're going to do is we're going to say I'm just going to do a double H, and it's going to return H, and then H will be set equal to, I'll write that right now, end price equals, and then what do we call it, calculate number. And then here's the tricky part. We're going to pass it everything. Well, it's not really tricky, but we're going to pass it in the right amount. So burger amount, fries amount, Sprite amount, burger price, fries price, Sprite price, and then tax rate. And here, I can't stress enough how important it is to keep these in order, because down here, if you have burger amount here and then fries price where you think burger price is, then you'll be multiplying int A by double D, for example, because double D is the fourth, and the fourth 1, 2, 3, 4 is burger price. So you'd multiply the first by the fourth, A by D, because D is the burger price and A is the burger amount. But if you accidentally mix those up and thought, well, it doesn't matter, because, I mean, it doesn't matter whether I put the fries price or the burger's price first. Well, it does if you can't keep track of that properly, because then you'll be multiplying the burger amount by the fries price. So if they ordered 2 burgers and fries cost $2.10, then they'll be paying $4.20 for 2 burgers when they really should be paying another amount, whatever burgers times 2 costs. So you got to make sure you get these lined up straight, and I'm just going to clear this. So we're going to define our double H. We're going to go H equals, and then we're going to out here, and by the way, in Java you cannot put A times B like that. It needs a little asterisk, that's how you pronounce it, asterisk, there to show multiplication, because it doesn't understand smushing two things together. I think I already discussed that earlier. So what's our tax rate is G. So we're just going to multiply G by the entire quantity of A times D. So that's the burger price times the burger amount plus B times E. So that is the fries price times the fries amount. Fries amount is B, fries price is E, plus, and then we're going to do the so to last. So that's C times F, because C is the amount of sprites that you want, and F is the cost of each one of those sprites. And so you multiply that all together. And the reason I did, and you really, because multiplication is commutative, you can multiply 4 by 6 by 2, which will give you 48, or 4 by 2 by 6, which will also give you 48. I just did it this way for ease of reading with all these parentheses. It's really unnecessary. I could delete that, and then have just G times that, and then that times that, and then that times that. But this way, the way I had it keeps it a little more, I think, a little straighter, because it makes a little more sense. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 openings, 1, 2, 3, 4 closing, so we need to add another one. Okay, so then finally we can move on to returning the double H, and then up here it'll be getting a double back. It'll be expecting a double back because end price is defined as a double here, and it's going to throw all these at it. Let's see, I'm sure I have an error here. Oh yes, semicolon there. And then we're going to return H. We're going to close our method, just like that. Let's try to run it here. How many large burgers would you like? 2. How many buckets of fries? 5. How many 2-gallon containers? 3. And now it did all the calculations, but we never told it to print end price. So then we're going to go back here. And we could either write another method to do this. I'm going to write another method just to illustrate again how useful methods are, because you can just call on them with one line of code at times, like in this case. So we're just going to do static void, because it's not going, oh actually, yeah, it's not going to return anything. So tell price, and then we're just going to pass it this end price. So we're going to say we're going to pass it. Let's see. Well, actually, you know what? Writing a method for this is silly. We could write a method that would. We need that ending brace there. We could write a method that we would pass it end price, and then it would spit end price back out, which is what I was going to do. But I just realized that's kind of pointless because you already have it listed in main. So here I'm just going to do system.out.println. Your total bill comes to $, and then plus, and then our end price, and end it properly, and let's run it. So if someone wants to keep track of the math for me, actually I'll do it. So lard burger, I want 2 lard burgers, 2 buckets of fries, and 3 2-gallon containers of Sprite. My total bill comes to, and notice how it didn't do perfect rounding. It did not round to the hundredths place, which is what most money places things do. We have not gone over rounding yet. I have not even learned rounding yet. When I do learn rounding, I will update you guys with how you would go about something like that. So anyway, it says your total bill comes to $24.3853. So let's calculate that. We added 2 lard burgers, so $2.47 times 2. You know, let me open up Wolfram Alpha. Wonderful site, by the way, to do this. I can type it all in one shot. So 1.07 times the quantity of 2.47 times 2 plus 4.29 times 2 plus, I entered 3 2-gallon Coke, so 3.09 times 3. That should be a plus, not a underscore. And so we're multiplying the price of a burger by 2, because we have 2, the price of fries by 2 because we have 2, and the price of Sprite by 3 because we're ordering 3, then times 107 because that's our tax rate. Going to just enter, and look at that, they match up. So anyway, once I learn rounding, I will probably bring an example like this up or rewrite something just to show you simple rounding techniques, but I'm not worrying about that yet. So anyway, this program welcomes you, prints out the prices, then it asks for user input for 3 variables such as the amount of lard burgers the user wants, the amount of bucket of fries the user wants, and the amount of 2-gallon containers of Sprite the user wants. Then does all the calculations while the user doesn't see anything, and then spits out what the total bill comes to. So that is a program that is, without using a user interface, relatively easy for a user to navigate and to be able to use. And so I know this was kind of a long tutorial, and thanks for bearing with me through all of this. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I will help you with them. I will be posting this sample code online. By the way, this is the one I made for actual class. It's a little different. I call it the Heart Attack Barn. I won't be posting source code for this one, although it's extremely similar. Heart Attack Barn. Introduction, here are the prices of the various semi-edible objects we sell. Triple pound, pure lard, gallon of Coke. So anyway, this is the one I made for class. Not much different. In fact, I did almost the exact same thing. I think I might have added an extra pair of parentheses. No, I did not. So anyway, I'll be posting the source code to this one in the description of this video. I'll be uploading it to Mediafire as an RTF, and I like RTF instead of like some other format because RTF will allow you to see, well, it's pretty universal. It's not like DOCX where some programs freak out about it and whatnot. It's pretty universal. Almost everything can open it. That is, you know, stuff like, say, Notepad or TextEdit or anything like that, but you're on a Mac, so hopefully you're using TextEdit or Pages or something like that. Or OpenOffice, that one's great. But anyway, I'm going to save it as an RTF because I can get all the colors in nicely, and those transfer over fine, and it's generally a small file, and it's just, I don't know, I prefer to use an RTF or something like this. So anyway, the source code will be in the description if you want to download it and see how I did this. If you have any questions, comment below. Obviously, questions pertaining to Java methods or anything I've covered in previous tutorials for this video, for the comments, because I'm learning Java myself, so I don't know anything beyond what I'm showing you right now in this program. As of right now, that is. So, anyway, I will be posting this video probably around, let's see, today is Wednesday, so by the time I finish this exporting and uploading, probably about 11ish. So that is about it for today. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to another Java tutorial. This is The Best Mac Tutorials. Please watch this in HD full screen, that way you can read the text on the screen better. So this is going to be a new tutorial, Java Tutorial 5, and I'm going to be going over some pretty basic but new information. It's very useful. I'm going to be going over how to use a random number generator. That includes importing it, the class for it, which is really easy. It's just like the scanner class. Making an object, which is just like the scanner class. and then using it. I'm also going to go over stuff